move on this morning to our next coach, the head coach of Presbyterian College Blue Hose, Harold Nichols. Morning, Coach.
Good morning.
Hope you're doing well. Blue Hose fell at Central Michigan last Thursday in your opener. A little close there, 14-3 at the half. Then the game you pulled away. Just open up, talk about that game, and then we'll start taking questions, talking about
Yeah, we go up there and played a really good Central Michigan team. I thought our kids competed pretty well there, especially in the first half. We had some opportunities. Finally got a drive together there in the second quarter and went down and ended up turning the football over inside their 20. That was disappointing. Always in those first ball games, turnovers play a big part in those kind of games, and your margin for error is small when you play a really good team like Central Michigan. But down at half, 14-3, with some opportunities there in the second quarter to make it closer. They've got a really good quarterback in Cooper Rush, and he ended up throwing a couple balls over the top of us. We had some coverage miscommunications, and they got really, really good speed at wide receiver, and they got out on us a little bit and kind of started steamrolling on us some. Disappointed we couldn't get anything going really offensively there in the third quarter to kind of turn the tide and get some momentum back on our side. But, disappointed in the way that we played. I felt like we could have done a lot of better things in the game. It wasn't an effort thing by any stretch. I think that our kids competed, but played some young guys, especially on the defensive side of the ball, so I think at the end of the day for us, we take a lot from that ball game that we can learn from, and hopefully be able to turn the page and go back on the road to play a really good Chattanooga team. You look at Chattanooga, they beat Shorter last weekend, I think 66-0. Shorter's a Division II school out of Georgia, and I think Shorter had 15 yards total offense on the day. They're a dominating football team. They've got a defensive end by the name of Keontae Davis, who's probably an NFL draft pick. They're very sound defensively. Coach Huseman's got a really, really good football team. They got knocked out by Jacksonville State in the second round last year, and had a terrific football team. They've got a lot of weapons on offense. Derek Crane, their running back, who's an old throwback kind of guy that does a lot of great things with and without the football. Got a very talented young quarterback that was the backup last year in Benefield that really had a good game against Shorter, and we'll have our hands full with him. He's a terrific athlete and beat you with his arm or his leg. So we've been hard at work trying to get a game plan up for these guys and going on the road and playing a really good Chattanooga team.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. This time we'll start taking questions for the head coach, Harold Nichols. To ask a question, press star 1 on your phone. Click the Q&A link near the top of your browser. Click raise hand. You're going to see this. Coach, while we wait a question to come in, talk about Jalen Lindsey. A nice game against Central Michigan, first career start, and what he brought to your team.
Yeah, he was one of those younger guys on the defensive side of the ball that was making his first start. He played a little bit last year on special teams and got hurt and missed about half the year. Tall, athletic, rangy kid that, for his first start, thought that he did some good things. Opportunistic with the ball. He's got good ball skills, and we ended up I think intercepted that guy twice in the first half and gave our offense a short field to work with. And so, I thought he did some decent things fitting the run. Obviously, I think, getting that first game start underneath the belt will help him as we go throughout the year. But he's a guy that we're going to be counting on heavily on defense. Him, guys like Nick Moss, another young linebacker that played a good bit for us in there. Kenny Coleman and Rocky Yasin, the two corners, were, did some good things outside too. So hopefully those guys can grow up. They're going to have to grow up in a hurry to play a really good Chattanooga team this weekend.
All right. Hey, Coach, next questions for you are from Gene Henley. Chattanooga Times Press. Go ahead, Gene.
Hey, Coach, how you doing today?
Good, Gene.
Good. Coach, I was one of the things I wanted to talk about was Gerald Bridge. Obviously, really big piece of your football team. With him coming back to the Chattanooga area this week, just kind of talk about how important football last year.
Well, Daryl's been a very productive player for us. He's a 1,000-yard rusher last year, and not only with what he does on the field, but he's also a leader in the locker room, and just quality kid. He's a complete back that does a lot of good things with and without the football. Disappointed we really couldn't get him going the other night in Central Michigan. Some of it had to do with us, and a lot of it had to do with them. But he's a good player and the leader on our football team, and just a quality young man. And he's going to need to play well this weekend if we're going to have a chance against Chattanooga.
Do you think, how much are you going to have to maybe curb his emotions, obviously with the fact that, I think it was kind of down to Steve for him, and with the fact that he is going back home. I mean, just how important is it to you to say about maybe calm the emotions down and just playing football?
Yeah, I think it kind of goes, unsaid. I know he'll be excited about getting back up there closer where he played high school football, and but he's a mature kid, and he's played a lot of college football, and I think he understands, the kind of mindset that you've got to be in, and once they kick that thing off, it's about playing football, and I'm sure he'll have some excitement to him, and all those things that go with it. But like I say, I think his football maturity, I think, will kind of come into play a little bit, and he'll be able to channel those things in the right direction, and he understands that we're playing a good quality opponent this week, and he's going to have to get himself ready to play. And but I think there'll be an excitement level there. I do, but again, I think he's a mature enough kid, played enough football to understand, that the things that he's going to need to do to get ready to play.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. And Coach, last question for you. Kind of want to ask Coach McCray just week 1 to week 2 improvements. Just anything more specific that you're looking to see for your group going into the next?
Yeah, well, I think Coach McCray said it right. I think it's just more consistency. Especially on the offensive side of the ball for us, and we've got to be able to sustain the momentum on the offensive side of the football, and it's easier said than done sometimes. Some of the teams we're playing against could go up against really good defense, but we were our own worst enemy a little bit the other night, and there's some things there we can get cleaned up, be more productive. I think that one positive, I think, coming from the game last week is our special teams. I think we were our coverage units, our kicking units, all performed halfway decent. Now there's improvement that can be made there, but just a consistency on the football team. Down in and down out, to be able to sustain some drives offensively. Get ourselves off the field on third down, and but we had some communication errors the other night that we've got to get cleaned up and fixed. And I think you'll ask a lot of coaches around the country. They'll say we got to be more consistent in things that we're doing, and that certainly is the case with us.
All right, Coach. Well, I'm not seeing any more questions for you. We'll let you go. Thanks. Good luck Saturday. Chattanooga.
Thank you so much, Mark. Appreciate you guys, and want to wish all the other coaches in the league good luck this weekend.
All right.